Have you ever had an itch that just wouldn't go away? One of those little annoyances you chalked up to dry skin, maybe old age, or the weather. You scratch it, maybe throw on some lotion, and then move on with your day. But what if I told you that your body might be trying to tell you something far more important? See, as we age, our bodies don't always shout when something's wrong. Instead, they whisper. Subtle signs, period. Little nudges, period. Things like fatigue, changes in sleep, or even persistent itching in specific areas. And those itches? They might be doing more than just bothering you. They could be waving a red flag about your health. Now, I know that sounds dramatic, but stick with me. In today's video, we're going to talk about something most people overlook. 4 common itchy spots on the body that may actually reveal serious health concerns in people over 60. These aren't just guesses or internet myths. Doctors and researchers have observed these patterns over time. And catching these signs early could not only help you live longer, it could help you live better, stronger, clearer, more at peace in your own skin. So, if you've been brushing off that annoying itch on your leg, your back, period, or maybe your scalp, thinking it's nothing, you might want to pay closer attention today, because that simple sensation could be the very thing your body is using to get your attention. Let's start with a spot many folks don't even think twice about: your lower legs. I'm talking about that nagging itch around your shins, your calves, even your ankles. Now, period. If you've ever reached down to scratch your legs at night, maybe while watching TV or lying in bed, you're not alone. But here's the thing. If that itch keeps coming back, and there's no rash, no bug bite, no allergic reaction, it might not be a skin issue at all. It might be your circulation. Let me share a story about George. He's 82, still sharp as a tack, and he likes to take a morning walk around his neighborhood every day. Nothing too strenuous, just enough to get the blood moving. He checks his feet and legs regularly, keeps himself hydrated, and generally feels pretty good. Then there's Frank, also 82. He used to be more active, but lately he's been sitting longer, watching the news, and not getting out as much. He's been feeling tired more often, and he noticed an itch creeping up his legs, especially at night. At first, he blamed dry skin and bought some new lotion. But nothing changed. What Frank didn't realize is that his legs were trying to talk to him. You see, persistent itchiness on the lower legs, especially in older adults, is often linked to something called peripheral artery disease, or pad point. That's a condition where the small blood vessels in your legs don't get enough blood flow. And when that circulation slows down, your skin gets dry, sensitive, and yes, itchy. But it doesn't stop at skin. When your legs aren't getting the blood they need, your muscles, tissues, and even your nerves suffer. Over time, this can put extra strain on your heart and increase the risk of heart disease, stroke, and even cognitive decline. It's not just about your legs, it's about your whole system. Think of your legs as your second heart. They help push blood back up to the rest of your body. If they're not doing their job, your entire circulation weakens. Now, here's the good news. This isn't a dead end. In fact, it's very manageable, especially when caught early. For people like Frank, making a few simple changes can make a world of difference. Gentle movement, like short walks around the house or some easy leg stretches, can do wonders for blood flow. Elevating your feet when you sit, drinking enough water, and even wearing compression socks can help too. And cutting back on salty foods? That's another big win for your circulation. But what matters most is this. Don't ignore that itch, especially if it lingers and doesn't come with a rash or a clear cause. If you're noticing it more at night or after sitting for long periods, it's worth paying attention to. Your body is smarter than you think. And sometimes, the way it tells you something's off isn't through pain or dizziness. It's through an itch. So, take a moment. Have you noticed anything like this lately? If so, don't just reach for the lotion. Take a short walk, stretch your legs, and maybe even check in with your doctor about your circulation. It's one of the easiest ways to catch something early before it becomes a bigger problem down the road. And speaking of catching things early, there's another spot on the body that often gets overlooked, even though it holds some pretty important clues about what's going on inside. It's not your legs this time. It's a place that's a little harder to reach, but one that's worth paying close attention to nonetheless. The upper or mid-back. Now this is one of those areas that most of us can't even reach easily, let alone see. So when it starts itching, we tend to brush it off. Maybe it's an old shirt tag, maybe dry skin, maybe you didn't rinse off all the soap in the shower. And sure, sometimes that's all it is. But if the itch keeps showing up in the same spot, especially if it's the upper or middle part of your back, and especially if you don't see any rash, bite, or redness, it might be worth digging a little deeper, because that itch could be more than skin deep. Let me tell you about Barbara. She's 76 and recently noticed a strange pattern. Every evening, like clockwork, she'd start scratching her back, right between the shoulder blades. At first, she thought it was her detergent or maybe a new sweater. She switched soaps, changed her bedding, bought the fanciest moisturizer she could find, but the itch didn't go away. And here's the thing, there was no visible irritation. Just this quiet, stubborn, nagging itch. What Barbara didn't know was that her body may have been telling her that something was going on with her liver or her kidneys. These two organs do some of the heaviest lifting in your body, filtering out toxins, balancing your fluids, supporting your digestion, and keeping your chemistry in check. But as we get older, they can slow down a bit. And when they do, toxins can build up in your system. One of the earliest ways this imbalance shows up? You guessed it, through your skin. Now, why the back? Well, the back, especially the upper part, is full of sensitive nerve endings. When the liver or kidneys are struggling, those nerves can become irritated, even if nothing looks wrong on the outside. That's why you might feel itchy without any rash or redness at all. And it tends to get worse at night, making sleep harder, which just drains your energy even more. Take a moment and ask yourself, have you felt more tired than usual? Have your ankles been a little swollen? Maybe you've noticed changes in your appetite or sleep. These can all be signs that your internal filtration system is under some strain. Now don't panic. This isn't a guarantee that something serious is happening, but it is your body's way of saying, hey, let's check under the hood. Luckily, a simple blood test can often tell you how your liver and kidneys are doing. And there are things you can start doing right now to support those organs. Drink plenty of water, cut down on heavily processed foods, go easy on the salt, and if you drink alcohol, consider scaling back. Also, take a closer look at any medications or supplements you're taking. Some of them can be tough on the liver and kidneys, especially if you're taking multiple prescriptions at once. It's always a good idea to review them with your doctor. But back to Barbara. Once she checked in with her doctor and made a few changes, drinking more water, improving her diet, and adjusting a medication that was putting stress on her kidneys, that itch started to fade. Not overnight, but little by little. And more importantly, her energy came back. Her sleep improved. And she said something I'll never forget. I didn't know my back was trying to talk to me. And that's just it. Your body is always trying to talk to you. The trick is learning how to listen. Now, if you've ever had an itch on your scalp or right at the back of your neck, you might be thinking, oh, I've had that. Probably just dry skin or a shampoo thing. And sometimes, yes, it is just that. But when that itch lingers, when it seems to come out of nowhere and doesn't go away no matter what shampoo you try, it might be pointing to something else entirely. Let me introduce you to Donald. He's 78 and has always been a tough guy. Worked hard all his life, raised a family, never complained much. But lately retirement's been tougher than he expected. He misses his old routine, he's watching more TV than he'd like to admit, and he feels a little disconnected. Like he's carrying something heavy around, but he can't put his finger on it. He also started scratching his head. First, it was a once-in-a-while thing. Then it became a daily habit, rubbing his scalp, running his hand along the back of his neck. No dandruff, no rash, no reaction to his shampoo, just a constant, nagging itch. And here's the twist: Donald wasn't having a skin issue. He was having a stress issue. See, as we age, our nervous system becomes more sensitive to stress. The body doesn't bounce back from emotional strain the way it used to. And that tension, that constant hum of worry or unease, often finds its way to the skin, especially in places like the scalp and neck, where the nerves are highly reactive. When you're stressed, your body stays in a low-grade state of alert. Cortisol rises, the immune system gets suppressed, and the smallest things, like sensitive nerve endings in your skin, start to overreact. So if you've been feeling more anxious lately or restless at night, and you've also noticed a nagging itch in your scalp or neck that no cream seems to fix, your body might be saying, "Let's take a breather." And I want to be clear, this isn't about just relaxing or thinking positive. It's about truly checking in with yourself, giving your nervous system a chance to slow down and reset. Donald started making small shifts. Nothing huge, just a short walk in the morning, turning off the news a little earlier in the evening, calling his daughter once a week to chat about nothing in particular. And you know what? That itch, it started fading. And more importantly, so did that heavy feeling he'd been carrying. There's something deeply healing about reconnecting with others, with nature, with yourself. And sometimes that's all your body needs. A signal that it's okay to slow down, to breathe, to feel safe again. So if your scalp has been itching more than usual, and you've ruled out the usual suspects, take a moment to check in with your emotions. Your mind and your body are more connected than you might realize. And that tiny itch could be your nervous system asking for just a little peace. Let's move now to one last spot that doesn't often get talked about, but may hold some of the most important clues about what's happening inside your body. It's right across the front of your torso, your chest and abdomen. This is where things get especially personal, because a lot of folks over 60 have been quietly dealing with this kind of itching without saying a word. They assume it's just sensitive skin, maybe age-related dryness, or even the heat. But here's the truth. Ongoing itching in the chest or stomach area, especially when it happens without any obvious rash, could be your body waving a quiet flag, telling you that it's running low on something vital. Nutrition. That might surprise you. After all, most people assume that if they're not losing weight, they're eating fine. But malnutrition doesn't always mean being thin. In fact, you can be eating plenty of food and still not getting the nutrients your body truly needs. Take Carol. She's 81, lives alone, and has always been independent. A real go-getter. But over the past year, food just hasn't appealed to her the same way. She's not cooking as much. Reaches for canned soup or crackers. Skips meals without meaning to. And bit by bit, she started to feel weaker, physically and mentally. But what really got her attention was the itching. Across her chest, right around her stomach. Sometimes it felt like dryness. Other times, almost like tingling. No rash, no irritation. Just that steady, quiet discomfort. She tried switching body washes, bought new lotion, changed laundry detergents. Nothing worked. What she didn't realize was that her body was struggling with a slow, quiet kind of malnutrition. And that's more common than people think, especially in older adults. As we age, our digestion naturally becomes less efficient. our bodies may have a harder time absorbing essential nutrients like vitamin B12, zinc, magnesium, and omega-3 fatty acids. And when those nutrients drop, one of the first places it shows up is in the skin. The skin becomes more reactive, more fragile, more prone to nerve sensitivity. And that's exactly what causes that itchy sensation in places like the chest and belly, where blood vessels and nerve endings are concentrated. But it doesn't stop at the skin. A lack of proper nutrition can weaken your immune system, reduce your energy, affect your mood, and even lead to cognitive decline. And what's most dangerous is how quietly it can sneak in. You might not feel hungry, you might not look underweight, but inside, your body might be missing the tools it needs to stay strong and sharp. So, if you've noticed a persistent itch around your torso, and your appetite has been changing, or you've been skipping meals, or just haven't been eating the way you used to, it might be time to pause and really check in with your nutrition. The good news is, this is one of the easiest things to turn around. You don't need a fancy diet or expensive supplements. Simple, nourishing additions can make a big difference. A boiled egg in the morning, a handful of almonds, a piece of fresh fruit, a bit of cooked spinach, a small slice of chicken or fish. Even adding a quality multivitamin can help cover the gaps. It's not about eating more, it's about eating with intention. And if cooking feels like too much some days, there's no shame in keeping it simple. A smoothie, a bowl of oatmeal with berries, a few slices of avocado on toast. Every small step adds up. For Carol, it started with just one change. She made a habit of preparing a small plate with something fresh once a day. At first, it felt like a chore, but slowly, her energy returned. Her sleep got better. And that stubborn itch across her chest, it faded. Not instantly, but surely. And more importantly, she began to feel like herself again. So if this story feels familiar, take heart. Your body is incredibly resilient. It's just asking for a little support. And now, let's take a breath together. We've talked today about 4 places where itching might not just be skin deep. The lower legs, where circulation might be struggling. The back, where the liver or kidneys might need attention. The scalp or neck, where your nervous system could be carrying emotional strain. And the chest or belly, where nutritional gaps may be quietly weakening your inner strength. None of these things mean something is wrong with you. On the contrary, they mean your body is doing what it was designed to do. It's talking to you, whispering instead of shouting, nudging you to check in before things become serious. And the beauty is, each of these signs gives you an opportunity to act. You don't have to overhaul your life or make dramatic changes overnight. Just start with one small step. A walk around the block, a glass of water, a simple nourishing meal, a moment of stillness, a call to your doctor or a loved one. You're not alone in this. Every person over 60, every one of us, is navigating the changes that come with age. But aging doesn't mean decline. It means paying attention. It means listening. And it means choosing to care for ourselves with kindness and intention. So here's what I'd love for you to do next. Take a moment and think about your own body. Has it been whispering lately? Is there a spot that's been bothering you more than usual? If something in this video resonated with you, would you mind sharing it in the comments below? Your story could help someone else realize they're not alone either. And if you found this video helpful, please give it a like. It lets us know you're out there, and it helps us keep making content that supports and uplifts this incredible community. Don't forget to subscribe to Strong Elderly Life and hit that little bell so you never miss a new video. We're here to inform, inspire, and walk this journey with you. You deserve to feel good in your body. You deserve clarity, strength, and peace of mind. So let's honor those little signs. Let's listen to the quiet nudges. And let's keep choosing life every single day. Here's to living your best life at any age. Thank you for being here. We'll see you in the next one.